Hi, everyone. Hi, BBYO. We have here Dani and Dani, your international shlichim, and myself, Ofir, the central shaliach. And today we're hosting this conversation. It's Sigd holiday, and we're hosting a dear friend of mine, Sigal Sandaka. Sigal is the shlicha, Israel Fellow at GW University. And I'm going to let her take over. Dani and Dani, you have the questions prepared that everyone and yourself asked and wanted to know. So let's go.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much, Ofir, and thank you, Sigal, for joining us here today. Before we get started with our questions about the holiday, we were just wondering if you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Sigal Sandaka. I'm from Israel, Haifa city. It's in the north of Israel, very beautiful city. I'm 27 years old. As Ofir said before, I'm the Israeli Fellow Shlicha at GW Hillel University in Washington, D.C. I'm really excited to be here in America and working in Hillel, and very excited about the chance to talk to you guys about my culture and my family and my community, Beta Israel, because outside of Israel, not a lot of people know it. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you.
Of course.
And thank you. I think we're equally excited to hear from you, probably.
Definitely.
First off, what is Sigd and how do we celebrate it?
Okay, so Sigd, we celebrate it in Ethiopia for three reasons. First reason, it's like Ma'amad al Sinai. It's the connection we have with God and the meaning, the meaning we have of God and God have in our life. Secondly, is the how much we want as Ethiopian Jews to get to Jerusalem, to get to Israel, to get to the honey and milk country. So it's like praying to get to Israel, praying to be in Jerusalem. And third, it's like this holiday, this day, we are mentioning it 50 days after Yom Kippur. And one of the big purpose of it is doing self-reflect, community self-reflection after we do in Yom Kippur personal self-reflection. So we believe that we should do as a community, as a society, a self-reflect and to understand what are we grateful for and what do we need to do differently as a community. Beta Israel is not big, but it's like we are just 2% of the population in Israel, so it's not a lot. But when you're part of it, so you feel like you're part of something bigger. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That was really meaningful, and it seems like there's a lot of power behind the holiday. Our next question is, how do you personally celebrate Sigd?
So I will in Israel. I used to go with my parents to Jerusalem. Everyone in Beta Israel community. Beta Israel is the Ethiopian community, Jewish Ethiopian community in Israel. That's how we called. So we use everyone, all the Beta Israel community, go to Jerusalem together in the same day. Like you can see kids, teenagers, parents, everyone is going. Not like everyone who wants is going, and you can pray like the our parents go and pray together. I have picture here. Go and pray together. The as a teenager, I went to be with my friends and to hang out and get to know more people. But when I get older, I understood how meaningful this day. So I'm just walking with my parents, praying on the kotel, and just do my culture, my community thing together in this day. It's important to say that my parents are fasting. It's like a fasting day. You fast in this day because you want to, as I said before, it's 50 days after Yom Kippur and we're still doing self-reflect. So we're still fasting. I'm not. If but my parents and a lot of other people, parents and adults in our community are fasting in this day. So it's more day than a holiday. it's not just celebrating. We are celebrating the evening, but most of the day it's about being thankful, connecting to God, and like saying thank you. Because a lot of people asking, so why do you still mention it if you got to Israel already? So we say we still mention it because when the fact that you got to Israel doesn't mean that you need to stop. Be grateful for what you have. So now we don't like say, okay, we want to get to Israel. We say we already in Israel, but we are so thankful for that. And for me, it's like amazing because it's it can teach everyone a lot of things.
Did anything change in like traditions because of like celebrating it now in Israel, or like maybe if you're not celebrating in Israel, but like
Yeah, the only thing who changed is that in Ethiopia, you know, Ma'amad al Sinai, Har Sinai mountain, it's where Bnei Israel got the Torah from God. So in Ethiopia, they went to the highest mountain, hike it, um, and like put all this white dress and everything. But in Israel, we don't go to the highest mountain; we just go to Jerusalem. So because we got to Jerusalem, so this is the holy place for us. So yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I have a much better understanding of the holiday now. For you personally, what has been the most meaningful memory that you have of Sigd?
I think for me, it's the fact that I have a chance to be part of something who's really bigger and really important. It's like the part that I have the chance and I can go with my parents and like study my roots and like knowledge the fact that I'm part of this amazing, beautiful community with amazing, beautiful values that guides me until today. Like until today, I believe I should be grateful for everything I have. I still believe that we are all of us something of like we are part of something bigger, and we need to be more aware for our power and what we can do, and in the same time be humble. That I love it that my parents and my community is very humble but very power. Like we have very powerful people, we have very powerful values, but we still very humble. We still like stay real for what we are and the place we came from. So for me, that's the best part of being part of this amazing day and this amazing community.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is Sigd celebrated differently around the world?
Most of the Ethiopian Jews live in Israel now because they came in like 1984 and 1991, and then until today, people still coming. And there is a community in Ethiopia that still lives there. So I know how we celebrate in Israel. I don't know how like we celebrate outside, but that's a very good question. I know here in Jeddah, like in DC, um, a lot of people doing it, but it's not today. It's not just Ethiopian thing. Like a lot of people, a lot of other communities wants to celebrate it because it's Jewish and because of the everything that I told you before. So yeah, I love it because we are embracing it. It's so diverse, and it's not like everyone think Jew in America. I think a lot of people in their heads, Jewish people is like just one thing, but it's a lot more than that. Like you have me, people are here very surprised about it. Like they shocked when they see me. Ethiopian, Jew, Israeli, what? Like people can't understand it, but then I explain. It's like, and it's fun. It's like I love it that I can share it with other cultures and other countries. Yeah.
That's a really great segue into our next question, because we were also wondering, how should teens celebrate Sigd?
BBYO is a huge community. I know you have like a lot of places all around the world. And for me, is the fact that you have a lot of power together as a personal and as a community. So that's what you can take from it. How can you get better as a community.
And that segues into our next question, which is BBYO strives to be a pluralistic and inclusive organization. So what advice do you have for a BBYO teen who is interested in broadening their Jewish knowledge and Jewish inclusivity?
First of all, go and ask question. Go to your parents, go to your grandparents, go to your cousins or aunts and ask them, where are you from? Know your roots. One of the biggest things that we said as Ethiopian, it's know where you've come from, and then you will know where to go. So know where you're from, knowledge your roots, and be connected to who you are, and then you can share it. It's very interesting to do it, to understand where you're from and what's the traditions, and then you can learn a lot about the Jewish world. And we have Google, so you can just search it, learn from it. You can talk to me if you want to know more about Ethiopian Jews. I'll be so happy to share it, not just in Sigd Day. Yeah.
How much do you feel that being Ethiopian is a part of your identity? How much does it affect your day-to-day life, something that you're thinking about dealing with, or is it there always? Is it there sometimes?
I feel it's who I am. It's part of me. A lot of times people say, what are you more? Are you more Israeli? Are you more Jewish? Or are you more Ethiopian? And I'm saying, why do I need to choose? I am three of them. I am Ethiopian, I am Jewish, and I am Israeli. And for me, it's part of who I am. It's part of, and I'm so happy. I didn't choose to be Ethiopian. I got lucky to be Ethiopian. I love it. I'm so happy that I'm part of this amazing cultural community because it's made me who I am today.
Do you feel being Ethiopian makes you special, or do you feel being Ethiopian makes you different?
First, it's important to say that it depends when you ask me, because when I was little, very little, I didn't see the color. When I turned to be in your age, Dani, and understood what it means to be black and everything, so I felt it's making me different. But when I grew up and connected to who I am, and these days now, I know that it makes me special. I love it. I love the fact that I have this culture. I love my color. I love my curly hair. You can see it now, but I have really cool hair. I love it. Today, I feel special. 10 years ago, maybe the answer would be different, was different, but now no. Now I'm definitely special. Yeah.
You are definitely special.
I know, right?
Thank you, Sigal. It was a pleasure to have this conversation with you. I feel like I learned so much about you and about Sigd, and I had a great time doing it.
Thank you, Dani and Dani.
Yes, thank you so much for speaking with us. I've learned so much just in the past 30 minutes.
Wow, thank you, Dani, and Ofir and BBYO for inviting me. It was a pleasure. And yeah, thank you. I'll be happy to hear from you, whatever you want or need.
It was a pleasure hosting you, and thank you so much for everything. I think this is a very special opportunity to learn more about both the Sigd holiday and then also about the Ethiopian community in Israel. And I would say that we are running an amazing program with the Ethiopian National Project that can be available for regions and chapters all over BBYO. So if you have any questions, you can just contact the Shlichim or me, and we will be there to assist you and connect you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. It was great, and happy Sigd Day.